Back at it again. Haiti Biz News Show, Monday to Friday, bringing you news that's going to keep you informed, engaged, and reacting in the most optimal way for your business, investment, and entrepreneurial activity. Today is the 11th of April. Let's talk about it. So this article isn't necessarily on Haiti Biz News because it's not. There isn't a story specifically tied to Haiti about it. And that's the problem, and that's why we got to talk about it today. And that is the China-Haiti relationship. We don't have one. We have a China-Taiwan relationship. We don't have a China-Haiti relationship. Right? And that's a problem. It's a problem, right? We have incredible investments being done right now by China. Incredible investments in the area. First off, just to name one, we have the Jamaica Highway that was completed in 2016. It was a $700+ million project. Okay, that connect Kingston with Ocho Rios, a sea resort town, right? We have in Bahamas the Baja Resort or the Baha Mar Resort, which that investment was at $2.5 billion, right? And of course, we have other activity happening throughout the Caribbean. For example, we have Saint Martin that is become the pearl of China with business folks, staying there, and lots of investments happening in Saint Martin because of the Chinese. We have Cuba just being inundated by the Chinese and stimulating what they have going on there. I mean, China has become the second largest exporter out there, and I mean you're seeing Huawei Wi-Fi hotspots, popping up all across the country over there. You're seeing military collaboration. You're seeing Chinese tourists, right? That is just giving the Cuban economy a tremendous boost, right? Of course, you have the engagement of Venezuela. I guess you want to count that in the Caribbean or not, but of course that we already know, right? And throughout you're seeing these, and of course, most importantly, Dominican Republic, they've recently turned away from Taiwan and have engaged China fully and recognized China fully. And they're increasingly engaging in collaboration. Just this week, there was high-level talks about, driving tourism, driving investments. And the thing is, because DR is the largest economy in the Caribbean, and if we already saw a $700+ million investment in Jamaica, right, which has a solid economy, and Bahamas, also solid economy, but pale in comparison to the size currently of the DR. I am on the edge of my seat to see what is eventually going to be announced in terms of what China's doing in DR. I'm talking about multiple billions of dollars, to be announced, right? Because, China's looking to spend, China's looking to invest, and do so in a way very different from how the West has so-called helped economies. Now, it's not without controversy, right? I know a lot of Jamaicans in Jamaica and abroad loathe what China has done because of the amount of debt, right? I know a lot of folks have very negative opinions because, again, how these deals are structured, who are the folks actually working on them. But the thing is, from a perspective of an economist, right, the projects being selected to be worked on are critical infrastructure projects that will last long after the debt is paid. Critical infrastructure that has real tangibility versus the West's model of just giving money, right, and hoping for the best vis-a-vis what the government does with it. We see the West usually giving money and then doing very difficult reforms that very much are experimental, have very much, in many cases, have hurt the long-term growth of these economies, have contributed to increasingly political instability. In Haiti, as you know, the big protest that happened last year was because of an IMF demand that gasoline subsidies be removed, and really was the kerosene to just some very nasty stuff, which somehow led to then the U.S. turning around and giving us level 4, right? Even though it's their entity that demanded the changes that led to the political instability in the first place. Okay, I'm not going to get too political. Let me back up. The focus here is DR is taking advantage of a very large purse string, very different alternative development measure, and the track record of the projects selected to be worked on are generally in critical, needed infrastructure projects. We already know that China proposed an incredible plan to totally revamp Port-au-Prince. I mean, from the ground up, from roads to sewage facilities to major energy facilities. I'm talking about a total revampment. But we turned it down. When I say we, Haitian government, led by Jovenel Moise, turned it down instead to get closer to Taiwan and got the Taiwanese, or at least promoted, the Taiwanese are going to build our, because there's a big 24-hour push, the Taiwanese is going to push the electrical reinvestment he's trying to do, and they're going to build an electric plant, which seemed to have gotten started, but then last news that I got was that the Taiwanese had pulled back from that because of the political instability and the protests that were happening as recently as a month, 2 months ago, right? And so right now we don't seem to have much to show for it, right? There's been some talks, high-level talks about Haiti and getting some of their products in the Taiwanese market to sell, getting Haiti to be able to export to Taiwan. But again, what have we have to show for it thus far, right? There's bigger conversations to be had, right, to why that is and why the U.S. is so interested in ensuring that we stay with Taiwan, even though the U.S. herself doesn't recognizes China to be the legitimate unifier of China, right? The U.S. themselves are on Chinese side, right? Which again is very, very, I don't understand it, right? But and whenever there is an inclination that China or Haiti is going to go towards China, there's tremendous pressure applied to the U.S. to change that, right? And so since we know that's not going to change, I think a lot of the opportunity still exists at the micro level, at the level of the entrepreneur who's working and doing things in the country. And certainly you looking to do business in the country, if you're looking to import, there's tremendous opportunity if you leverage the ease of doing business that exists currently with China. There are a lot of things that are put before you that China allows you to do to get their products out and their products into your market, right? So, and we'll come back, we'll revisit that. But my advice is certainly don't just think about the American importing from America and what you can get from the American side, but certainly incorporate what you can get from China. And I've been, there's a very nice hotel villa that is in Vivi Michel, and I've been there. Very top class. I mean, it is beyond anything I've seen thus far, even some of the other top hotels in the country. And when I asked where do they source this material, from the countertops to the windows to the granite to the wood flooring, everything was from China. And of course, the biggest thing he told me was, man, there's a perception that China doesn't do quality, but that couldn't be any further from the truth. Not only can I get things that are of quality from China, but for half the price of America and directly sourced. So that's the advice I provide. See how you can increase the relationship capacity and how you can incorporate China imports into what you're doing in the country. You like what I'm doing here? You already know. Give it a like. If you appreciate the content, give it a share, right? You want to discuss the strategies that Haiti should be using in Taiwan or China, leave a comment. And until we're back at it again, we'll be back at it again.